the good news is that you can, even ask us questions. Firstly, a big thank you to Dan for doing a fabulous job in making things better and better by the day. Thank you, Dan, for the fantastic work which you're doing. And Dan wants me to talk to you all today about public charge because Dan is a brilliant researcher. He looks at issues. So today we are going to talk about the public charge, and next week we are going to talk about the H-1B visa, which you all are very much interested in knowing about what's happening because things are changing, Dan, in connection with the H-1Bs. So that's a hot button. We'll make sure that we give you some news. Now, some news coming about the public charge is that basically a lot of states are kind of basically trying to prevent basically the public charge from kind of being, implemented to the extent that it destroys people's lives. I think that's a great move by states, and I believe in New York also. There's a lawsuit which is pending, and let's see how the outcome would be. Of course, the Supreme Court has said that, but there are bits and pieces of the public charge definition which need to be looked into very carefully so that exactly we have a definition that actually kind of does not kind of hurt the entire community. And for example, there are many genuine cases wherein people have to go on disability, they have to go on welfare, or they have to go on government housing needs and whatnot. So these are some of the factors that are going to be considered. And how is immigration going to look at that? And this is my personal analysis. They're generally going to look into the totality of circumstances. Totality of circumstances means they're going to look at the entire record for 3 years, whether you've actually kind of been on public assistance for 3 years, what are the compelling reasons, and if you're sponsoring someone, if that person comes to the United States, if that person does not become a burden or a liability upon the system. So those are some of the key factors that are going to be looked into very carefully. So a lot of people that we've been helping with even now, especially when it comes to marriage-based immigration cases, they're coming in, they're filing for their spouses as soon as possible. And, Dan has been doing a fabulous job, and we've been trying to kind of, we handle cases from all over the United States and the world. So that's some important news which I wanted to share with our viewers. Now, as far as the public charge is concerned, there were some questions from some of our viewers who said, Mr. Gehi, the bigger question which I have is that if I have sponsored my spouse who is abroad, will the consulate also look into the public charge? Sure. Doesn't matter even if you're applying for adjustment of status under section 245A or under 245I of the INA if you're grandfathered. The bottom line is that they are going to look at the public charge carefully to see that you meet the requirements of the public charge definition under the current act, and it's implemented under section 212 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, and 213 also will be looked into very closely, and 213 of the act relates to the affidavit of support, which is one of the guiding factors which immigration looks at to see whether the person who is sponsoring a foreign national actually has the resources and the strength to support the foreigner who is coming, commonly referred to as the alien who enters into the United States. So that's about the public charge. Some questions from my viewers, and the show is live, so I think we're getting some questions here. So Dan, can you tell me basically, no audio, sir. So there's no audio here.
Not on that one.
So on one of them there's an audio. So if you're missing the audio, we'll be able to kind of make sure that you can watch our video. And I think Dan, you need to fix that issue, I believe. So on one of our shows we are not having an audio, but on one of them I think the audio as well. Am I correct on that, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
So let's proceed with that. And Dan, you can continue fixing that if possible. So we are very friendly with our viewers. So I take the discussion of just talking to you as my friends more than anyone else who watches the show. So we apologize if there's no audio on the show. Well, we are fixing that on the other program that is live right now on YouTube. So the question now is that what happens if you have taken public benefits? Stop it, if you can. And if you cannot, then we'll make sure that, see that you retain an attorney. Because when you go to immigration, you need to basically prove your case that exactly, that you had compelling circumstances, and it's good for you to have a lawyer in those cases. A few questions which I got is a lot of them relate to political asylum cases, and because we've been handling a lot of marriage-based immigration cases, political asylums, H-1Bs, labor certifications, etc. So with political asylum, someone asked me, Mr. Gehi, I have a master calendar hearing, and I appeared before the court and my lawyer did not appear, and the judge requested me to either change my lawyer or get a new lawyer. So yes, you have the right to change your lawyer because the judge is telling you to protect your rights. The judge is being kind to you, and you should protect your rights by getting a new lawyer. Because the sad thing is that if you are in removal proceedings, and if a case is denied, the judge has the right to order you deported. So there are some serious consequences when you are in immigration court. So keep those things in mind. Those are critically important, and we handle immigration cases, including asylums from all over the United States and the world. Another very important question from a viewer who said that, listen to this question. This person is an American citizen. He's married to an American citizen. This person is married to an American citizen, and they married in good faith. The US citizen has filed the papers, and now the citizen does not want to go for the interview. What can you do? In such cases, be very careful. Get legal help as soon as possible, because if you don't show up at the interview, your case will be denied. So the clock is kind of running, and it's your duty to protect yourself. And don't buy those yes and no's from your spouse, because you'll be the person who'll be in trouble. The next question was that I love this question, is I'm married to an American citizen, and I've been married to him, I've been living with him, but this person does not want to sponsor me for the green card. And he's mentally torturing me, he's abusing me, and I'm being subjected to cruelty. In such an instance, what do you need to do? You can get in touch with a good lawyer immediately. And if your spouse is an American citizen or a green card holder, you can self-sponsor yourself for a green card, which means you will not need help from your spouse. So if you are a victim of abuse under the Violence Against Women's Act, which applies to men equally, so exercise your rights. And we've been seeing a lot of clients from other states who are coming in and seeing us. And yes, Dan is also going to share my email, which comes to me directly. It's info@gehilaw.com. And Dan, if you could put it up, that'd be fantastic. And for the benefit of our viewers from out of state, because we've seen people coming from Pennsylvania, from Connecticut, from upstate New York, from Georgia, from all over the country. In fact, we have clients from Alaska too. So the question is, yes, you can come in and see us. And what we generally do is we handle extremely complex immigration cases. I'm a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and I've spoken at the American Immigration Lawyers Association. I have appeared on the Ask the Experts panel of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and I've also been on ABC World News. I've been on different TV channels, and they are on our website. So what we do is that we take up deportation cases. We take up cases wherein exactly a marriage-based case wherein the spouse is refusing to go to the interview. We take up cases wherein people get into deportation. We take up cases when people land at the airport and immigration questions them about their green card and they want their green cards to be terminated. We take up complicated H-1B cases wherein you have a complicated H-1B situation based upon a specialty occupation under the INA, or whether exactly the bona fide nature of the job becomes an issue. So, I love fighting complicated cases because, I believe in that's where exactly, our strength lies in fighting and helping the community. Of course, we cannot win every case, and I want people to know that neither Mr. Gehi is ever going to tell you that he can win every case. We can fight every case, but that's why you have a judge in America, and you got to take it as a sport. Sometimes you win a case, and sometimes you lose, but you need to move your best foot forward when it comes to immigration cases. Next question from a viewer was, Mr. Gehi, I have been a green card holder for many years, and I've made several trips abroad, and this time when I was coming in, I was stopped at the airport and was pulled at the side, and now the officer said I will have to see an immigration judge. serious situation, immediately get legal help. Doesn't matter even if you made 15 trips, they just have to catch you on a wrongdoing in one trip. If that has happened, it can be because of a crime, it can be because of a fraud, or it can be because of your failure to disclose your previous case. Those are the most common instances I see. So if that is the case, you can make an appointment and we'll be happy to help you. So these are some important questions which I had. Another important question comes in from a viewer who says, Mr. Gehi, I have an issue. I actually was driving my car towards the border and I got pulled over by immigration. And I've been living here for many years in this country. And I have children and I have a spouse, but I'm undocumented. And right now I am before the immigration court in Buffalo. What can I do? So this happens sometimes. What happens with people is that they go towards the border, they get pulled over because CBP, that's Customs and Border Patrol, has the right to actually pull you over within basically 60 or 70 miles from the border. That happens, and immediately have an immigration attorney represent you, and then you can fight your case from there. Very important question, next one. The person says, I crossed the border and I came to the country. I crossed the border and I entered without a visa into America. I am married to an American citizen for a long time and I do not have my green card. What can I do? What you can do is your spouse can apply for your green card and you can apply for the professional waiver, and if that is granted, the good news is that you can qualify for a green card. Yes, I understand that you cross the border, you're scared of going back, but we've had clients who've gone back and they've come back happily, and if needed, we can also basically make sure that we can talk to you and understand your situation better. So prior results do not guarantee future outcome, but there is light at the end of the tunnel in your case. So this was a question wherein a person crosses the border, and even if you're married to a green card holder, you can still apply for that. So there is some good news. The next question is that my father, who's an American citizen, sponsored me for a green card. And I am here in this country and I'm out of status, and now the priority date is current. Can I qualify for a green card? The answer is yes, you may qualify for a green card, provided you apply for the professional waiver. So we are going to have one big session about the professional waiver, because that is very important for the community, Dan. So what Dan is doing a fabulous job. We are trying to make sure that you get the right legal knowledge. And also, we have a radio show coming up soon.
At 12.
And at 12 o'clock today. So tune in into our radio. And Dan, how do they tune in into our radio program?
The link is on the Facebook page.
The link is on the Facebook page. So at 12 o'clock, we'll also have a radio program for you. So, and I think people can ask questions on that. So 12 o'clock every Wednesday, radio program. And as you rightly know, the name of the show, Green Card with Gehi, will also be airing on radio. As you can see, we are getting on YouTube, we are getting on Facebook, we are having a radio program because we want to spread the word. More than anything, we want to make sure that you have the right representation, you do pretty well, and you get your green card in order. So that is critically important. And some other questions, because we are getting a lot of questions from our viewers. Now, a person is a dreamer in this country. A lot of people came in as dreamers and have a lot of high regard for dreamers for the fabulous job you folks are doing. Now, this dreamer came in when this dreamer was very young in the country. According to this dreamer, they crossed the border and they came into the country. And now this dreamer is married to an American citizen. What should the dreamer do? I'm sure you know about dreamer people like who are under the DACA program, is Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA program. So what this DACA recipient should do, get married to this American citizen, and if you're married, your spouse should start sponsoring you for the paperwork. And after that, you're going to have your interview abroad, and if you're on a DACA, I don't see it to be a problem, and you should be able to come back if your professional waiver is properly approved. So that should be the right path for you to go. Now, some other questions from New Yorkers. Very important question from a New Yorker. Mr. Gehi, I applied for my citizenship and I had my citizenship interview more than a year ago. Immigration is not acting on my case. They are not doing anything about my case. They are not doing anything about my case, and I made several inquiries. I even went through a congressman. So, listen to the question. This man went for a citizenship. It's been more than a year. Immigration is not applying, and this person lives in New York. I went through a congressman, nothing happened. We can assist you with this. How do we do it? We take it to federal court, and we are federal lawyers. And if you take it to federal court, and if you haven't done anything wrong, God willing, you should be able to get your citizenship in 6 months. Follow-up question from another client. I went for my green card interview more than 2 years ago. I'm happily married. I'm not getting the green card. We can take this to federal court. So sometimes what happens, immigration likes to hold up these cases by saying that your background check is pending. Background checks should not take so long, not 2 years. So in those cases, you can file a mandamus under 28 USC 1331, and you should be able to kind of, get results. Mandamus is requesting the government to actually ask immigration to give an answer about your case. That's what a mandamus is. So folks, we've spoken a lot about cases today. And as always, you can come in and see us in our 3 offices. Our Forest Hills office is 718-263-5999. And our Ozone Park office, where a lot of people come in on weekends, on weekdays, is 718-577-0711. 718-577-0711. You should call us and visit us if you're in the neighborhood. And the Jamaica office, where I'm here a lot sometimes, or you can call us at 718-764-6911. So this is Attorney Gehi. We'll be back again next week, and our show is going to be about filing for the new H-1B under the current change in immigration laws. So the instant program is an attorney advertisement. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome. Stay tuned for our radio show, which will begin at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the link is on the site. And how can they go there? It's radio. What's the website?
Radio.co.
Radio.co.
Co.
radio.co. And next week, stay tuned for a very important session on H1Bs. And don't forget to share the video and like us on Facebook.